Hello, it's Kit Alowitz with yet another Leadership Journey video segment today. Today I want to talk about or confront the statement that says, being perpetually busy is a form or a kind of laziness. Now, how does that statement resonate with you? Being perpetually busy is a kind of lazy. What if I said to you that you or I's response to someone who asks how we're doing, if our response is, I'm busy, that's a form of a lazy response. That you are simply falling victim to a lazy, common throwaway response of, I'm busy. Now, what do you think of that? Some time ago when I read Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Week, it talked about this idea, and it really caught my attention when it says being perpetually busy is a kind of lazy. Now, at first I wanted to take this personally. I know what I'm doing. I'm busy, it seems, doing only high-value stuff, so I thought. Or so I think. I wake up every single day and there's this imaginary box at the end of my bed, and it gets dumped out every night, and when the new day comes, the box holds 12 rocks, but I take it a personal challenge that I'm going to somehow fit in 13, 14, or 15 rocks into that box. I am busy with intentionality. I am a professional busy human. I put B in busy, so I think. What about you? Now, when I took a step back and I said, all right, wait a minute, let's just think about this for a second. I took cause to think. I took a deep breath. And in fact, one of my favorite quotes of all time is something that says, like, when you take time to look at the way you see things, the way that you see things can change. So I kept reading Tim's book. Tim went on to say that being perpetually busy is akin to being sloppy with your time and is ultimately a form of laziness. If you don't feel like you have the time, you don't have your priorities straight, is what he says. Tim went on to say that he tries to never respond that he is busy when a friend or colleague casually asks him, how's it going? What about you? What if you decided to stop answering the question of how's it going with I'm busy and replace it with something very different? In fact, you remember from videos ago, we talked about Ralph Waldo Emerson's phrase of what's become clear to you since the last time we met. What if you asked to the other, instead of asking how it's going, wherein giving your reactor, the other person, a huge temptation to tell you that they are busy, instead answered the question with, or asked the question of what's become clearer to you since last time we had. Something to get away from the lazy response of, I'm busy. Now, Tim Ferriss goes on to say that we are all tempted to use I am busy because it is such a common throwaway response. But he says, I take special efforts not to respond with busy. If I feel busy, then I should take a very close look at what I am doing, ensure that the activities and the tasks that I am assigning to myself and others are those that are giving me the yield that I want, that it's getting to the goal that I want. Pushing back against a culture of busyness worship isn't easy, he says, though. Being busy is often seen in our culture as a pervasive badge of honor. Being busy is a form of laziness. Lazy thinking and indiscriminate actions. Being busy is most often used as a guise for avoiding a very few critically important but uncomfortable actions that we know we should do, but because they're quadrant 2, they're important but not urgent, so we tend to put them off. Every day there are very few tasks that are critically important, yet those are the hard ones typically, the tasks we need to do some deep thinking about or stay focused on. This deep thinking and the need to be undisturbed for an hour or so can be very, very difficult in our culture. So most people do everything they can to avoid having to do it. Often these tasks carry a risk of failure as well, adding to the mix of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, so we end up putting them off. To become more effective, we need to, or I should say productive and effective, we need to look at what we do each day. What excuses are you making, or am I making, for not doing what we know deep down is important? We all do it, either consciously or unconsciously. We need to be more aware of the excuses that we make that get in the way of doing the things that we know would be most important. If you do not know truly what is important to you, you need to do the uncomfortable thing and take time to think about what you think about and what you do, what's important to you, and prioritize those things and have the courage to get stuff done in a scheduled time frame first and avoid those distractions. If you allow your day to be controlled by the demands of others, their requests and their messages, you are doing the easy stuff. It's easy to react to those, and it's easy to give an excuse for not doing the important things. It's harder to say to yourself, I didn't do that thing because I allowed myself to be controlled by others or by the whims of myself or my laziness. So we deceive ourselves by convincing ourselves that the work we do is important in lieu of the things that are actually very important. Not prioritizing and getting to know or do what is important to you as an individual, and taking the easy road is an ongoing temptation, and yet it is lazy thinking. It's hard to say no in the end. Yet, if you want to become more productive, so you have more time for the essential things, this is what you and I must do. So consider the next time you're tempted to say, I'm busy, when asked by someone, take cause and say something different. Give a different answer. For in the end, answering so is potentially very perpetually lazy if you say that you're being busy. I'm Kit Alowitz, and we will see you next time.